Hello guys, and today I'm doing another league table video, and now we're in the Bundesliga. I tried to upload a lot of different videos, even the championship one, but they didn't work. Now, so let's get straight into this. And first of all, we have SV Amsterdam. No, Amsterdam. Now they didn't have a great season. Of course, they finished rock bottom and they got relegated to the lower leagues. They had a goal limit of minus 38 and only had 25 points. So they failed to win the last 3 games and they got relegated. Next up, we have FC Ingolstadt, who got relegated. They failed to win their last 6 games, but 4 of them were surprisingly draws. Had a goal difference of minus 21 and 32 points, which is 7 points more than SV Darmstadt, showing how bad they are. They were in the Bundesliga, and they've already lost one of their stars. Grubb has left to Brighton Hove Albion following their promotion, so they don't have a rosy future ahead of them, and they could be bouncing from the Bundesliga to the lower leagues a lot for the next couple of years. Now, the relegation scrap in the Bundesliga was horrible this season. Wolfsburg, Bayer Leverkusen, Augsburg, Mainz, so many stars in trouble like Cheviato, Javier Hernandez, Bojan on loan from Stoke, and Mario Gomez from Wolfsburg right now. And now they're in the relegation playoffs. They lost their last game against Hoffenheim, so they are in terrible danger. They have a goal difference of minus 18 and are 5 points away from automatic relegation. But they're safe from automatic relegation. They just have to get away from the terribleness of getting the horror of being relegated. Now, Manchester also almost slipped into the relegation playoffs because they only were ahead of Wolfsburg by goal difference. So the relegation battle was insane between so many star players, and it was pretty shocking. Manez was safe enough to be 15th, only over relegation by goal difference. 44 goals scored, 55 conceded, and they lost their last game. They ran away from relegation. They had such a good team. They should be fighting for Europe, like Wolfsburg and Mainz are. But they were also in that terrible relegation zone. They bursted out they were only 1 point over the relegation zone. They were in the automatic relegation zone, I think, but they beat Wolfsburg 2-1 and they squeezed out. FC Augsburg failed to win the last 4 games and were only 2 points ahead of that relegation playoff, so they were also in deep danger. And they were a good club as well. It would be pretty shocking if they went down. So I think the most interesting thing about the Bundesliga is the relegation battle. It's between so many good clubs. It gets so tight. And they had a goal difference of minus 16, still negative. They have 35 goals, 51 conceded. They had 9 wins, 11 draws, and 14 losses. Now, the last team who won the relegation battle were Bayer Leverkusen, who won just at the end to be pretty safe. If they lost that game, then they would have been 2 points. They would have been 2 points away from that relegation playoff. But Bayer Leverkusen was safe with that victory. And they had a goal difference of minus 2, had 53 goals and 55 conceded. They had 11 wins, 8 draws, and 15 losses. They weren't the best side in the Bundesliga, while last season they really were. So next of all, we have Frankfurt, who have been in terrible form, only won one of the last 6 matches in the Bundesliga, but they were safe from the relegation zone. I mean, Frankfurt alone are worse than Bayer Leverkusen, FC Augsburg, Hamburg, Mainz, and Wolfsburg, and even maybe you can compare them with Ingolstadt. But they were higher. They had a really good season, very far away from relegation. They just have to avoid becoming just dying, because they were once a super club who would have been could easily won a Champions League title. But they set a record in the Champions League finals. They lost 7-3 to Real Madrid. That's the biggest score margin for the finals. 11 wins, 9 draws, and 14 losses, 42 points. They were in danger as well, but not as big danger as the other teams on below them. Now Schalke, that's a pretty disappointing season for them, because they were aiming for Europa League football without doubt, and they weren't getting they're not close to Europa League football. They were really close with Bayer Leverkusen, Frankfurt, and Frankfurt, so they kind of went down if they weren't careful. Now Mushroom Black, this is not their best season. I mean, they need to get 7th, so they can have a slight chance at Europa League. So top 7 is what they were aiming for, but they finished 9th. So there were clearly a lot of underdogs in the Bundesliga. They had around 45 points. The Schalke were the first team that we've discussed to have a positive goal difference, but they didn't. They failed to win the last 3 games, as they were all draws. And this won't be the best season this year. They lost half of their games. They won half of their last games. Werder Bremen, I mean, it's not their worst season, but they just need to finish a position higher. They won 45 points, but have a negative goal difference. They've won 13 games, drew 6, and lost 15. That's more, so they actually lost more than they won. But they still managed to finish higher than the likes of Schalke, Bayer Leverkusen, and Wolfsburg, because they were shockingly in a relegation battle. Now, I know, dependent on their performance in the VfB Pokal, SC Freiburg might even be in Europa, so I don't know. It'll be really exciting to see underdogs like them be in the Europa League. But they had a terrible goal difference of -18 and drew and won as many as they lost, which is a very weird frequency to have. I mean, you don't really want that, but if that brings you to almost go into the Europa League for a team that's usually struggling with relegation, that's pretty good. Now Hertha Berlin are guaranteed the Europa League spot, which is pretty good for them. They lost their last couple games. They won 15 and lost 15. I don't know. That happened to SC Freiburg. I mean, in the Bundesliga, anything is possible, and they finished a point higher than Freiburg to get guaranteed Europa League football. And they had a negative goal difference like every single other team except for Schalke. And now next up we have Cologne. God, who the hell are they? They managed to finish top 5. Wait a minute, I'll be back. Wait, but what? Oh, sorry guys, the FC Cologne. But the firepower. They're the second team to have a positive goal difference, which is why they're 5th over Hertha Berlin, who lost one of their star players to Wolfsburg. And Brooks, the US national. But they got 5th. But they're a one-man team. How could just one man by the name of Modest bring FC Cologne to Europa League football? I mean, over all of these good teams, Modest is just such an insane breakout star. I mean, The form recently hasn't been great, but they did enough to get Europa League football. It'll be very interesting to see them in the Europa League in Europe. And Modest, it'll be interesting to see if they can hold on to him. Now, if next time we have Hoffenheim, will be pushing to qualify for the Champions League. Now that they got a qualification spot, it was a great season for them, and they had a lot of great players that brought them to this. They were yet again underdogs, like a couple other teams who finished higher than a lot of good teams. They had a positive goal difference, and they had around 62 points, way over that Europa spot, and they were safe from the Europa spot. And yeah, they won 16 and only lost 4. That's rare for a team like Hoffenheim in the Bundesliga. So it was a great season for them. And the young manager, who's under 30 years old, brought them to finishing top 4. And the legendary Arsene Wenger can bring Arsenal to top 4. That's definitely great work from Hoffenheim. Now, this was a pretty disappointing season for Dortmund because they usually finish second, and their recent form has been great. We just won the DFB Pokal. They're on 64 points, 2 points higher than Hoffenheim to get the automatic Champions League spot. So they're doing really well. And they won 4 of the last 6 games, so they've been great. But still, finishing lower than the next team would feel kind of bad because they beat them. And of course, when we go to RB Leipzig, there's only one team remaining, so we have to go to it. It's Bayern Munich, who won the last 4 games in the Bundesliga. They're on 82 points, and the town is theirs. So, however, RB Leipzig by oh my god, by how much? Over 20 points higher than RB Leipzig, and destroyed the Bundesliga. I'm pretty sure they should have went unbeaten, but they didn't. I mean, Bayern Munich are so good. They should be the transfer to the Premier League. But let's not talk about them. We already know they'll be in the Champions League next season, of course. What about RB Leipzig? They worked out a fairy tale with the likes of Timo Werner, Forsberg, and Ketia starring in the team. Ketia, the rising star. Timo Werner, the guy who can't stop scoring. And Forsberg, the amazing set piece. I don't know. RB Leipzig great this season. Guaranteed that Champions League spot for a team that just got promoted. It's kind of weird. I mean, the goal to dominate German football is working out really well. And I'm going to see who they lost to 2 weeks ago. Sorry, I completely forgot. It was when they lost to Bayern Munich 5-4 in the 9-goal thriller. Yeah. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Who do you think will win it next season? Who deserve to win it? How will RB Leipzig and Borussia Dortmund Bayern Munich do in the Champions League? Can Hoffenheim qualify? Will Wolfsburg be relegated? I don't know. Comment down below, and I'll see you next.